Level 1. The calf. You weigh 400 pounds, and you have been alive for 11 seconds. The water is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. It presses every inch of you. Your mother's nose finds your flank before you can process what a flank is, and she drives you, hard, fast, no hesitation, 60 feet straight up. You break the surface. You breathe. That's the whole victory. That is the only thing that matters in the first minute of your life, and you nail it. You are roughly 8 feet long. You know nothing. You know one sound, the click sequence your mother made the moment you arrived, a pattern no other pod on Earth uses. It is your name, your address, your entire identity, pressed into the dark water like a signature. You will hear it 10,000 times before you understand what it means to carry it. The pod is 11 animals. Within hours of your birth, they change course. 11 animals reroute their entire day around keeping you alive. Your grandmother moves to the outer edge of the group. 2 juveniles tighten the formation. Your mother does not sleep. Not tonight, not tomorrow night. She drafts you in her slipstream every hour of every cycle, her body a wall between you and everything the North Pacific has decided it wants. You eat. You sleep pressed against her. You surface every 3 to 5 minutes like it's the easiest thing in the world. It is the easiest thing in the world, right now. You have no idea what this ocean is. You have no idea what you are inside it. You can't yet imagine the distance you'll travel, the things you'll learn to do to survive, or what those things will cost you. You think you know what you were born into. You don't. Level 2. The shadow. You are 6 months old. You weigh just over 800 pounds now, and for the first time, you swim 3 body lengths ahead of your mother without realizing you've done it. Then you realize it. You don't turn back. A single herring catches the light 11 feet below you. Silver, fast, a flicker. You dive. Your flukes push hard. The water at 30 feet is darker than you expected, colder, and your chest does something wrong and tight, and you pull up before you catch it. You break the surface alone. You breathe 4 times fast. The pod clicks. It is not a warning. It is not a correction. It is something you don't have words for yet, but it fills your whole body the way warmth does. You will spend years learning to name that sound. Today, you just feel it land. You dive again. You miss the herring again. You don't care. What happens next takes less than 2 seconds. A stellar sea lion, 1,200 pounds, scarred across the left shoulder, moving faster than anything that size should, surfaces 3 feet off your right flank. The displacement wave hits you before you see it. You freeze. Every click in your body goes silent. This is not the tight feeling from the dive. This is different. This is the first time your body understands that something could end you. Your mother is already there. She puts 6,000 pounds between you and it without making a sound. The sea lion is gone in 4 seconds. You float beside her. Your breath is ragged. You are shaking in a way that has no name yet. 30% of calves don't make it to month 7. You don't know that number. You don't know you've already beaten it. You don't know what beating it will eventually ask of you. You just breathe. You stay close. You think the hard part is over. Level 3. The student. You are 2 years old. You weigh just under 2,000 pounds and you are always hungry. Hunger is not simple anymore. You watch the adults choose which school, which current, which angle of approach, and you start to understand that food is not just food. Who eats first matters. Who holds formation matters. You consume roughly 300 pounds of fish in a good week. In a bad week, you learn what waiting feels like in your whole body at once. The dialect is your real work now. 17 call types. Each one has a shape, a length, a pitch that has to land exactly right. You practice the way water moves, constantly, without stopping. You get 12 of them clean by late summer. 13, 15. The matriarch's signature call stops you every time you try it. It has 4 beats and a curl at the end that you keep flattening. You try it wrong for 6 weeks straight. Then one morning, in flat gray water, you produce it clean. She surfaces. She crosses 8 body lengths in 4 seconds. She touches you with her rostrum, just once, just a second. and something in your chest cracks open in the best way you have ever felt. The whole pod goes quiet. Then they answer, all of them. The call bouncing off the hull of the water like the ocean itself said yes. You don't forget that moment. Not ever. 3 days later, you run your first carousel hunt. 3 adults, 1 salmon ball, and you, holding the left flank without breaking. It works. A chinook comes apart in your jaws. It thrashes for 4 full seconds before it doesn't. The taste is good. You are surprised how good it is. The thrashing stays in your muscles longer than the taste does. You don't notice that yet. You're still feeling the yes. Level 4, the escort. You are 5 years old, 14 feet, close to 4,000 pounds. You have traveled an estimated 12,000 miles since birth, every one of them within acoustic range of your mother's voice. That number lives in your body now. It is not distance anymore. It is just who you are. The post comes without ceremony. One morning, the pod angles north into open water, and you are placed on the outer perimeter without a word, just position, just expectation. Your dorsal fin breaks the surface alongside the big adults. The morning light catches the white of your saddle patch. You hold the line. Nobody corrects you. That's how you know it's real. Your echolocation clicks now map a 200-foot radius with clean resolution. You feel the bottom contour. You feel the scatter of a herring school 180 feet out before anyone else calls it. You report it in the correct sequence, 3 short pulses, then 2, and the pod adjusts. They adjust because of you. There are 3 older males on the perimeter with you. Their fins are tall and slightly bent at the tips. One is maybe 25 years old. He is enormous and almost silent. You watch him between sweeps. He doesn't play at the surface anymore the way the juveniles do. He moves with a kind of heavy stillness. You decide that is what mastery looks like. Deep calm, weight earned. You are wrong about that, but you won't know it yet. Right now, there is wind from the northwest, and the pod is moving fast, and your clicks are bouncing back clean and sharp, and you are on the line, trusted, doing the real work. 14 feet, the open ocean. You earned this. Level 5, the hunter. You are 8 years old, 18 feet, 8,000 pounds. You are now among the 5 largest animals within a 50-mile radius. That is not a guess. You feel it in the water displacement around you, in the way smaller things move before you arrive. The hunt happened 11 minutes after you broke from the pod alone. 11 minutes. You had watched the harbor seal on the rock shelf for 2 full tide cycles before that. You measured the wash. You measured the angle. You memorized the timing between swells. Then you ran the sequence yourself. You drove hard at the shelf, built the wave, rode it up onto the gravel, closed your jaws, and rolled back into the surf in one motion. Clean, exactly as you had mapped it. The pod feeds from what you brought. Your mother eats first, then the calves, then the others. You hold position and watch every one of them take a piece. You don't have a word for what moves through your chest in that moment. It is enormous. It is the best thing you have ever felt in 8 years of open ocean. In the weeks since, you have replayed the sonar sequence 200 times. You refine the approach angle each time. You find 3 small errors. You correct them. You run it again in your head. You correct them again. Then you notice the calves. They are watching you the way you once watched the 25-year-old male with the bent dorsal fin. The same stillness, the same attention. 2 of them hover just outside your wake when the pod rests, tracking your every turn. Something settles into your chest that is not pride. It is heavier than pride. It stays. Level 6, the bull. You are 15 years old, 22 feet, 12,000 pounds. Your dorsal fin stands 6 feet above the surface. Straight. Black. It cuts the chop like a sail with no boat under it. From a quarter mile out, boats change course to follow you. Not the pod. You. The researchers have a name for you in their log. You have seen your own fin in photographs mounted to the side of a Zodiac. You don't need to understand photographs to know what they mean. Your testosterone has climbed 400% in 18 months. You feel it in everything. In the length of your range during breeding season, 9 miles from the pod, sometimes more. water you have never crossed before, and you cross it without slowing. In the way males from other pods read your approach and turn. No sound exchanged, no contact. They simply turn. Inside your own pod, you are fed first. The juveniles wait. Even the adult females hold position until you have taken your share. You have killed more than 2,000 animals across a decade of hunting. The number doesn't live in your head as a number. It lives in your body as certainty. You don't hesitate at the shelf. You don't recalculate the wave. You simply go, and the thing dies, and the pod eats. The calves copy your technique now. Exactly your technique. Your angle, your timing, your roll back into the surf. You are the 25-year-old male with the bent fin. You are the one they study. It is extraordinary. Let it be extraordinary. It is. Then the storm comes. It hits fast, and in the confusion of the surge and the fractured sound, you lose the pod's click sequence entirely. You search for 8 hours. Black water, no signal, no answer. Just the pressure of the deep and something underneath it, quiet and entirely yours. You have never heard that before. Level 7, the Sovereign. You are 21 years old, 30 feet, 18,000 pounds. 3 salmon runs live inside you and nowhere else. The Chinook pattern off the Fraser River in October, the depth, the cold current, the shelf where they hold before the push inland. You learned it from your mother at age 4. You learned it the way you learned her voice, completely, without trying. The older bulls have lost that map. Their memory fades past 15 years. Yours does not. The matriarch watches your body before she directs the pod. She watches which way you angle at dawn. Then she signals. Pods you have never met give way at the surface. No contact required. Just your size, your fin, the particular frequency of your calls. They read all of it, and they move. You have not played, true play, without purpose, in 4 years. You know this. It sits in you the way a healed wound sits. No pain, just the shape of something that closed over. Then January comes. The Chinook are scarce. Scarcer than any winter in your memory. The pod ranges 40 miles north of the usual run. You lead them. You are certain. And you are wrong. The run is not there. Your mother is 52 years old. She has not fed well since November. You have watched her slow. You have matched her pace for 6 weeks without knowing why you were doing it. She goes quiet on a Wednesday. No click sequence. No answer. You circle her body for 6 hours. The water is 38 degrees. The current pulls at her, patient and without feeling. You circle anyway. The pod holds nearby. Not one of them approaches. On the 7th hour, she is gone. The dialect you have spoken every day of your life now has one voice fewer. A specific frequency. Hers. No other animal on Earth produced that exact sequence, and now no animal ever will. The pod looks to you. You lead them south. Level 8, the weight bearer. You are 28 years old. The salmon are gone. Not scarce, gone. The Chinook run that has fed this coastline for 10,000 years collapses in a single season. The pod ranges 60 miles in 4 days and finds nothing. Your youngest are burning muscle now. You can see it in how they move, slower, the spine more visible, the play completely gone. Then something opens in you. A memory so old it barely has a shape. You were 3. Your mother angled northeast away from every familiar shelf. 400 miles of open water. A secondary run. Cold and deep and almost impossible to find without the exact frequency of the bottom current to guide you. She showed you once. You did not know you had kept it. You keep it. You turn the pod north. The transit takes 11 days. 17 animals make it. 2 do not. Both juveniles. A male, 4 years old. A female, 2. You were close enough to hear the female's last call. It was not a distress sound. It was just her voice, getting quieter, and then not there. The other 15 reach the secondary run. They eat, they survive. That is the arithmetic the pod will remember. You carry the other arithmetic alone, the 2 that did not arrive, the exact weight of them, the specific sounds they made, and you carry it the way you carry your old scar tissue. No pain, just the permanent shape of it, built into you now. Your teeth are worn flat. 28 years of prey have ground them down to almost nothing. Certain species require biting force you no longer have. You eat what your body will still allow, and something else is inside you that you cannot eat around. Your blubber holds PCB concentrations 40 times higher than the fish you consume. Every toxin that moved up this food chain stopped inside you. The apex holds everything. That is what apex means. The pod eats. You watch them eat. You are not hungry. Level 9. The diminished. You are 38 years old. Every bull born in your cohort is gone. You outlived all of them. There is no one left who remembers what you were before you became a legend. 3 neighboring pods recognize your call across 60 miles of open water. Younger bulls pull back when you surface. They read the width of your dorsal, the scarring, the sheer time written into how you move. You are the oldest thing in this ocean that still moves with intent. That means something. It means everything to them. It means less and less to your body. Your left eye has been infected for 4 months. The tissue around it is swollen and pale. You navigate by your right side now, compensating so automatically that you barely notice, except at depth, in low light, where the darkness comes in uneven and wrong, and you surface more than you should. The tooth abscess started small. Now it runs deep into the jaw. Every strike on a fish sends a shock up through your skull that makes you slow down for 2 or 3 seconds. 2 or 3 seconds is the difference between a clean catch and none. You are eating less than a juvenile. You are burning your own mass to stay warm. The salmon run you turned the pod toward 8 years ago, the one 400 miles northeast, the one your mother showed you once when you were 3, is gone. The current that marked it has shifted. The fish are not there. The knowledge you kept for 35 years is now a memory of water, nothing more. The pod moves south. Standard passage. 14 animals at full speed. You fall 200 meters behind. No one slows. No one calls back. Not because they don't know, because there is no call in the vocabulary for this. No sound was ever built for what they are watching happen. You close the gap by dark. It costs you everything you have. You don't show it. Level 10. The memory that swims. You are 45 years old. You surface first. You always surface first. Before you breach the line between water and air, the pod is already rising, all 14 of them, pulling toward the light in the same breath, at the same angle, without a signal. They don't know why they do it. They just do. They always have. You are the reason. You have covered an estimated 1.5 million miles of ocean in your life. No single animal in this ecosystem comes close to that number. Not the humpbacks, not the blues, not anything. You carry that distance in the way a glacier carries the weight of 10,000 winters, from the inside, invisibly, in the way you simply hold. Your mother taught you the northeastern run at age 3. That water is 30 degrees warmer now. The salmon she showed you are gone. The current markers she used, you can still find them by memory, every one of them, and every one leads to nothing. 4 generations of calls live in your head. Routes, feeding grounds, the 3-click warning your grandmother used before fog, the long, low tone your daughter used when she was afraid. None of it is written anywhere. There is no stone. There is no archive. There is only you. A juvenile surfaces close, too close by older rules. You don't correct her. You haven't enforced the old spacing in 2 seasons. It doesn't matter the way it once mattered. You vocalize once, short, the old northeastern signature, and every animal in the pod goes still. They listen. They don't know what it means. They know it means something. That is enough. That has always been enough. The water is cold this morning, colder than it was for 30 years running. You remember the warmth the way you remember your mother's voice, completely, and from a distance that keeps growing. You dive. The pod follows. The ocean does not notice. It never did. It was never keeping score. You were simply here, and now you are still here, and one morning you won't be, and the calls will begin to drift, and the roots will go soft at the edges. And no one will know exactly when the last true version of this world finally slipped under. Not yet. Not today. The calf draws in that first burning breath, its mother's clicks already etched into bone. It cannot know yet that those same calls will eventually be its isolation. That mastery of the hunt means mastery of a solitude no other creature shares. It will learn to breach with joy, to feast without mercy, to lead or follow with absolute certainty. But somewhere in the deep, beneath the triumph of the apex, waits the quiet that only predators know. The mother calls again. The calf answers. The cycle begins.